Persons under 18 will not be admitted.
What's up, everybody? This is Jeff.
And Ben.
From Toking with the Dead.
And Still Toking With.
And Still Toking With. Still Toking With is our live show. Yes. You can catch that every Wednesday.
At 7 p.m.
Eastern.
That's
Eastern.
Yeah,
if you live in fucking California, it's got to be 3.
No, 4.
4?
Yeah. They're only 3 hours behind.
What about daylight savings?
Yeah, well, fuck that. We'll worry about that when I come.
Okay, so if you're on the West Coast, you're going to have to look up when 6 o'clock is out there compared to here.
Which would be actually 7 o'clock out there instead of here.
7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Before this is over, I'm going to need a whole lot of serious therapy.
You're all fucked up today.
Another $1 for the swear jar.
I'm always fucked up. You should tune into the show and see really how fucked up I can get.
Oh, yeah.
Well, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
And when you do tune in, you're going to see amazing guests like this.
Hey, this is Courtney Gaines. You know me from such movies as Children of the Corn, Can't Buy Me Love, Burbs, even Back to the Future.
Hey everybody, this is S4E18, and I'm going to be on Still Toking With.
Hi, I'm Deadeye Swackhammer, and you're listening to Still Toking With.
Hey guys, it's Boston comedian Dave Russo, and you're listening to Still Toking. Do not change that dial. I'm going to punch you in the face. You fuckers. In the face.
Hi, this is Steve Wallace from ET&Q Show, and you're listening to Still Toking With on the Dorkening Podcast Network.
Oh, yeah, Leo just threw me right to the wolves, didn't you, Leo? Welcome to the show. Usually Leo does his little thing, but, you know, he's a little under the weather, so here I am. Let's have some fun. And we're down Ben, too. You know, so these guys let me off my leash. This ought to be interesting. Very interesting. So who's controlling the cameras, Leo, then? I'm just curious.
Oh, I'm not controlling the cameras, but that was pretty impressive how it just came over to me. I'm Jar Jar. Wow. Yeah, tonight, am I introducing our guest now, or
Sure,
I don't know what Leo is doing to us.
Yeah, he's messing with us is what he's doing behind the scenes, you know.
All right, well, from the new movie, which you can check out on all the streaming services, well, not streaming services, but like Amazon and all that, the Space Wars, it's Garo and Anahit Setian.
Hello.
Setian.
I knew I was kind of. That was the name that I didn't practice. I was like, damn, nobody said it in the interviews. So how is it? And also, I'm sorry, and also, Joe and Sarah are here.
Hi.
Hello.
I almost forgot you two. I'm
show.
so sorry.
No, that's okay. I get forgotten often.
And I'm sorry.
Usually from me.
Yeah, mainly by Sarah.
Jeff, do you know their last names? Because I didn't have it written down.
It's Joe Netter and Sarah French.
Well, see.
Sarah French. Now, see, those I couldn't have screwed up.
I know. Why didn't you introduce everybody?
You know?
All right. So let's get right into it, I guess. Right, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So.
Yeah, I mean, I just literally just finished watching this.
That's awesome.
15 minutes ago. I
mean?
Finished it actually about 6 hours ago, so I got a little more time on you, Jeff.
Well, yeah. I was, you know, I worked all day, and I'm like,
really
shit. How long is this movie? All right, I can squeeze it.
Hour and a half, perfect.
Hey, it's only 90 minutes.
I didn't even have to fast forward. No,
it was an hour, perfect hour and a half. Like,
yes.
Well, our extended cut director's version is 9.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one coming up.
Damn.
But that's the one that's got all the cool stuff behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff that
and
before
the
it gets cut out, all the bleeps and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah.
Triple the amount of fights. I fight like 20 other people in the extended.
Yeah.
Including me and Garo.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Sarah, you hit like a girl. I just want to say.
Well, that was actually one of the questions. Garo, are you ever going to be in front of the camera? Both movies now, you're behind the camera. You got Anahit out there in front. What's going on?
She's more the actress. I'm a bit of too much of a ham, I think, to be on screen. I had a cameo in my previous movie, Automation, and I think that's.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see that one yet. I want to see that too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Sarah's in that one as well.
Yeah.
That's actually how we
really?
met.
Yeah.
Are you guys
cool.
like a traveling family of movie makers?
You could call it that, yeah.
I'd say so.
It's like a small band of circus performers, all come
We've
together.
become like family. We've worked together so much now.
Mm-hmm.
When you
Sarah
work
was-
well with people, you want to stick with them.
Yeah.
How long does it usually take to do a movie?
From start to finish?
Yeah. Well, not all the editing, but like while you're doing it out on set and stuff.
So this one took 9 days of shooting on set.
And then
that's
2
it?
days, 2 days for the location work, and then 1 day of pickup. So it was 9, 10, 11, 12 days.
Wow. That's
Really?
impressive.
Yeah.
Do you know
The
how long
editing
it
and the
takes
special
Jeff to
effects
do
took
one
long.
episode?
Months.
Now
Yeah,
the
it's a whole-
editing and stuff is more like months, right?
Oh yeah, that was like 8 months to a year of like
Oh
just
wow.
cutting, and I have a regular job. I edit movie trailers.
Yeah.
That's my regular thing. So I kind of
With your company,
everything else,
with your
That's why
your
it took.
company Hungry Monster, right?
Yeah.
Hungry Monster Entertainment. Yep.
Where'd that name come from?
We both love monster movies and we love food. We're always hungry. So we just put
nice.
those two things together. Hungry Monster.
That's perfect.
It describes us very well.
Yeah.
Wow, that works.
And they make a very great team. They work very well together.
Yeah.
Thank
Sarah's company we have together is called Horny Monster. If,
Well, this would
a little
actually
bit
be a
different.
good way to get like the inside scoop. Who's the boss on set, Joe and Sarah? Like, who out of these two like run things really? He's called the director, but like, who's actually like saying, "Come on now, let's get it together."
I'm going to plead the fifth.
I'd like to say it's a great 50-50 split.
The Garo and Anahit work very well together in tandem, and which can be a challenge. Sarah and I work very well together too. Usually, when you're dealing with couples, it can be super challenging because it's stressful. Pre-production, production, post-production.
Because not only you're working together, you're living together. So you need to find that nice.
She has a weird dream about you the night before, and all of a sudden it's shit all over the set.
Yep. It's a thing. And I can speak as for us men, we occasionally need the ladies to kind of reel us in.
Oh, absolutely.
And bring us back to reality a little bit.
Don't get me started.
And it's
right.
Super cool. Super cool.
I like to say we ground you guys for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Grounding by putting us in the corner when we get in trouble.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Or in the ground when you piss me off.
Okay, I didn't know this was going to be a beat down.
No. Hey, we gotta switch things up.
On set, Garo knows exactly what he wants. When he shows up, he knows what he wants to do.
It sounds like it if you can get a movie done in 12
I mean,
days.
from like he already has it in his head, and when he gets on set, he knows what he's gonna shoot, and he doesn't shoot anything extra. So we didn't cut out very much in the movie.
There's only like 5 minutes of deleted footage.
Oh, no
from the
kidding.
movie.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
pretty tight.
Okay.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So everybody
That's
nailed
like,
it. It was all one take stuff too.
No, we had time for 2 takes sometimes. No, we did a few different ones. I mean, but we were very lucky in that Sarah, Anahit, and Michael were so prepared, and they had the biggest dialogue scenes of the movie, and they were able to like just go straight through. I mean, we did not have a lot of delays or mess ups or things. I mean, we were able to just burn through pages and pages of dialogue, so it really helped a lot.
Yeah, Anahit had the biggest challenge. Her big monologue section was a lot of techno jargon, space science stuff.
Right.
But she nailed it. Like that was for me, I think, the most difficult section for anybody to deliver.
Right.
And she did a great job with that.
Amazing.
It was 3 pages of dialogue, which Joe wrote, but he was such a good sport when I was having issue, like, well, this isn't flowing off my tongue as I'd like. he was pretty free to let me improv a little bit and make it work for me. And not a lot of writers are able to do that. But
that
you know,
takes
he's
out
awesome.
one of my questions. Now I can't ask about improv. Thanks, Andy.
And also what helps is like with the script, when you know your character so well, it just becomes natural. And so everything is just, you know, like you're really in the moment, in the scene. So just
because you're like this innocent badass.
Yeah, I have to say,
Right?
I caught the twist probably towards the middle. I was like, I know where we're going here.
Right.
But yeah, I was just like, hey, yeah, okay.
You're like,
I don't want to give it away, you know.
Right.
Yes.
Thank
you.
But
Yeah, Bruce Willis is dead the whole time.
Yeah, that motherfucker. He was a ghost. I couldn't believe it. Ruined that movie now.
Wow. So who was the set designer?
That was Anthony Pierce was the set design. And it was a combination between him building these sets and Evil Ted Smith building all these really cool sci-fi props that we had.
I saw that name in the credits.
Yeah, the light boards, chairs, you know, some of the space guns. I also had a friend of mine, Mark Ross, in Vegas. He gave me a bunch of guns and extra props from a sci-fi project he worked on. So we had that additional material. So, but it was, Anthony kind of setting all this stuff. We also had this guy, Brian, who worked with him, who set dressed and everything. So it was a lot of work.
The chairs looked comfortable, were they? They were like really big backed. I'm
big.
6'4", so I was like, man, that would be a good captain's chair.
You would have enjoyed it.
It was a challenge for me because like I had to sit.
You're this.
It was set up for Michael, and he's a tall guy. What is he, 6 something?
Something 6.
But I had to sit in his chair, and then he had to come and sit right after me, and I trying to reach. I'm like, does this look natural? You know. So next time I think we'll put the chairs on wheels or coasters or something to help.
There you go.
Evil Ted also built the spacesuit, like the helmet and you know those elements and things. You know, and he's a designer. You know, he's worked on all sorts of major movies and stuff, and he has his own website where he teaches people how to create their own like cosplay sort of costumes and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Really
I'm
fun.
a huge con person. That's actually why I do these shows. I get to go to all the cons for free. They invite me like I'm press and stuff. They're just like, here, come talk to them. I'm like, you really want me to talk to people? All right.
You wear costumes when you go?
Oh, I do not. No, I enjoy everybody else's costumes. No, this body is not ready for that.
So, and if you want to watch Automation, he also made the costume for Otto.
Yeah, the robot.
Oh, cool.
Now I have to
Our first movie.
Were you in that as well, Annie?
Yes, I was. I had a smaller part in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, didn't make the cut, huh?
No, I was busy. I was busy raising our 2 kids.
Well, I was going to ask, actually, 30 years you guys have been 30 years you guys have been together, or close
24.
to it.
24,
married.
30 altogether, I'd say.
Yeah, we dated 5 years before that.
Yeah.
So altogether.
That's a pretty strong relationship. You're going the distance.
Yeah.
Well, she's an actor. She can fake it well.
Sarah and I have been together 14 years. So
it's been a while.
Yeah.
I actually met him on my very first movie, a short film, and he killed me in it, cut my head off, and beat my friend with it.
Damn.
True story.
But
we didn't get together until about 3 years after.
We were friends for a while.
Yeah.
Hey, when you get beat
That's
with
wonderful.
a little bit of head, you can't beat a little head. It's great.
She eventually.
I wasn't going to touch that.
I did.
I had to.
Nice. Yeah, I figured.
No,
So the special effects. You had a lot of cool special effects in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you do, or do you have an FX guy?
I had effects guys on this, but you know, my main background is in post. I edit movie trailers, and I'll do a lot of sound mixing on them and add a lot of sound design and things like that. So I was heavily involved throughout all those steps, but the actual CG was done by these two artists in England.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
cool.
Stephen Clark and Paul Knott, and they did all the real flashy stuff you see, the monsters and the spaceships, all of that. That was them. And then we had a few other effects artists for things like the windows and the computer screens. Filmmaker Gary Jones, he did some of those. Perry Horowitz and Adam Lima. So we had, it was a good team. I mean,
were the monsters 100% CG, or were there any kind of models for them? Any like arms or pieces that were?
We had both.
Yeah. For the climactic creature, we had built arms that were, and those were created by Jeff Farley. He built these giant arms that extended and would bend and stuff. So we already had picked the model out. So I said, Jeff, can you make these? Because I want to have a fight scene with this monster trying to eat these people, and I wanted the arms to be swinging around while they're trying to, kill each other.
It adds another element to it.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And also for actors, you and Sarah, like it must be really tough when you have the idea of what's there coming at you, but it's to actually have the thing. Like, was when you're running from some of the monsters, were there actual like people coming at you going or was it just oh no and pretend to run from the scary monster?
No, I mean, we knew what we had to get done, and we, in the script, we had an idea, everything we needed to do. And Garo, with his great directing, he was like, all right, this is what I need you to do. You got to run from here to here. There's a monster over here. There's another monster coming over here. So he really, Joe and Garo painted a great picture for me to help me kind of bring it to life in my head. And then, we kind of just did it.
Wow. And the creatures were awesome. They're great concept on those.
Yeah.
No,
that was a lot of fun.
One of them, I really got the sandworm from Tremors.
Yes.
Like it came
one of my favorite movies. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was really cool. I had fun. The kids wouldn't watch it with me though. They don't like my movies.
Well, how old are they?
9 through 16. So they're just like nah. To get me to sit down for longer than a half hour is pretty impressive.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's made for that type of age bracket or the people who grew up on those kind of movies. Really, I mean, if you watched Battle Beyond the Stars in the theater, then you're the target audience for this movie.
Well, I was going to ask, what were some of the movies or shows that inspired this? Because I got like a bit of Flash Gordon towards the beginning, and then like Godzilla throughout. And it was, and then Tremors. I'm just like, wow.
I saw a little bit of Spaceballs too.
There's definitely a lot of Saturday afternoon television in here, and old Star Trek, definitely classic Kirk Spock sort of Star Trek. But it was definitely those movies that were made in the afterglow of Star Wars, films that were inspired by Star Wars, but they were their own thing. Joe and I talked about these movies a lot, like Space Hunter Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, or Star Crash, even all these kind of movies. And also I wanted it to feel like a Sinbad movie in outer space, that kind of movie. So I love those quest movies where, you got to go here and get this and open up this thing and go to here. And there's monsters there and you see lots of interesting things. That's the sort of stuff that really interests me as I want to go on a journey, go on an adventure, and just have that sort of.
And we did have a lot of little homages. I see there's a question asking if the reference to the three-headed destroyer of their worlds was a Godzilla Easter egg, and it was.
Yep.
We have, there's Battle Beyond the Stars, Star Crash, Sinbad, tons of little things that connect. There's an Ice Pirates thing in there.
Yep.
We really wanted to have Easter eggs to all the movies that Garo said he grew up loving, that we also grew up loving. So they're peppered throughout for people to find.
Should we watch the trailer? It seems Leo has it queued up.
Sure.
All right. So Leo, go ahead and play it. I don't know if it's going to actually work the way I want it to.
The year is 2980, and we now know that death is not the end. A soul can be extracted from the recently deceased and be used to create a blue liquid called essence. It can bring a person back to life.
We'll get her back.
I hope so.
It's an expensive process used by the rich and powerful. The rest, they do what they can to survive.
Stay right there.
You told me you're hiding from some dangerous people.
Let's knock on the door. I spent the last year searching for the Deepstar. A bounty so big that the entire galaxy could be yours.
People have been looking for the Deepstar for years. It can't be found.
It's because they can't find the distress beacon. I know where it is. If we find the Deepstar, we could get enough credits to bring Mom back.
Blast off.
Guys, we have company.
You can run, but you cannot hide. Prepare for impact.
I am now authorized to take action.
And now you die.
No!
Bravo.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It was awesome.
I'm happy things worked the way I wanted it to. That was pretty cool.
Right. Now, where was your location for a lot of the outdoor stuff? Was that?
That was a lot of that was in Las Vegas area. We were in.
Hold on. At the end of the movie, it says most of it was filmed in space. You're lying.
Oh yeah, along the Montanian Sky Trail.
I was just like, oh, it's filmed in space. Yes.
Well, Las Vegas,
California.
Very true.
All right.
Very, very true. So it won a lot of awards.
Yeah.
It's probably going to continue to do so, which is pretty impressive. You know, when I was looking you up, it's like 17 awards. I'm like, 2 movies. That's interesting. You know, you don't see that too often.
What's been the most special one that you guys have gotten for this one?
Say the Zed Fest one, was that? Because
Probably
that's
the biggest one, yeah.
Because we had a nice screening for that one. I mean, we had a good crowd. A lot of people came out. It was sort of our LA screening when we did it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was at the Regal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was great. We had a really decent crowd for that, and everyone was totally into it. Very exciting, and you know, it's always great to be in a theater with everybody around you just getting excited and pumped, and you know, following us for the ride. And it's just a wonderful thing to see.
I love the fact that it's played some drive-ins on the 25th.
Oh, that's wicked
drive-in
cool.
in Pennsylvania, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, I went to a drive-in for the first time in a long time last year, and I was just like, "This is great." It was way up in Maine, but I was just like, I didn't even know they were still around.
Yeah. I grew up going to drive-ins.
Yeah, same here. I was one of the kids hidden in the back of the Volkswagen.
They had a very brief sort of comeback during COVID, and you know, I don't know if they're all. Is that Tiki one still around, Joe? Or
Tiki closed.
Yeah.
COVID kept it open. It was going to close prior to COVID, but COVID let it last about 2 more years.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, that's probably why I got to see the one up in Maine too, because like it was towards the end of COVID. Whoa. All right, no riding motorcycles in the house, guys.
That was.
We live on a busy street, and it's like kills me.
Yeah, our normal computer setup is down, so we're on our laptop, and didn't think that we're ready.
Oh, no worries.
No, I thought someone was getting run through a wood chipper or something.
Right?
That's what's gonna happen. I'll tell you that right now.
So
I'm gonna go Fargo on them.
Yeah,
this question might be a little lame, but since it only took 12 days to shoot, but were there much shenanigans going on set? I can't imagine, since it's such a tight schedule, that
none that were filmed.
None that were filmed.
It was a pretty orderly shoot, I would say. This was very efficient. We had to move quickly, so there really wasn't much time for fooling around. I mean, it was a lighthearted set. We had, you know, fun while we were doing it. But yeah, there wasn't. I wouldn't say there was really.
No, it was go go go.
Yeah.
It was go go go, but at the same time, we were all having fun doing it because just being.
Oh well, that showed through in the movie.
Yeah, it did. It
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all gelled so well together on set. Everyone got along great, and we've all worked together in the past, like with the DP and his crew, Garo, Anahit, Joe. Like all of us knew each other. We've all worked together before, so we were all just friends on set, and it's family, and you know,
it was easy.
A really great time.
Yeah.
Easier. So, that's really cool.
What were some of the biggest obstacles?
Right, the set, probably having set, you know, because it was just tough getting enough crew to like do what we needed to do in the amount of time we had. Yeah. So sometimes sets were not 100% completed by the time we were ready to shoot, because we had basically 3 stages. And we'd roll out all on one stage, then we'd move to the next while the other stage was being redesigned or turned into something else.
Yeah, and when I was in front of the camera, I was helping paint.
Yeah, we were all helping paint.
Right?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hands on.
All hands on deck.
Yeah.
And of course, from a sound perspective, the fact that there was street fairs going on right outside, like multiple days.
Oh my gosh. It was insanity.
Yeah, that was a challenge.
You can see that in the deleted scenes.
Afterward.
Yeah.
We had trains going by.
Trains, yeah, there was lots of noise.
Especially on the weekend, cops.
Oh yeah,
sirens.
Sirens would be whirling off in the middle of a take. I mean,
the building we were in is almost like a garage. It's not soundproofed at all, and so we'd have to cut a lot. That's where the multiple takes came in, because we had to stop for sound, whether it was the train or the police going by or the party happening across the street. That was a challenge.
Yeah. I gotta say though, that sound came out pretty good considering you didn't know. I mean,
no, I didn't hear any sirens that I could remember. That sounded out of place, at least.
No, I didn't hear anything out of place.
Cool.
Which is pretty cool. The fight scenes. How do I want to word this? I found hysterical. Just in the way, because they just looked like fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There wasn't, I grew up watching Kickboxer and all of those kinds of movies. And, and it was too much fun, but that's what made it great. You know what I mean? That's why I said, Sarah, you hit like a girl.
A very strong girl.
Yeah, yes. Very strong girl.
I don't mess. Can we swear on here?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Dropping bombs on.
Yeah.
Right.
He does not.
Right.
No, and
Tyler. I was going to say,
I loved playing Taylor because she's just such a badass. She doesn't take shit from no one. She rushes through danger with no problem, and she's on a mission. And, with all the fighting and craziness going on, there's also a lot of heart to this film. That's what I also love about it, because the true core of the story is family and what you're willing to do to get them back. Right. But then, you get all these cool, crazy fights and ship crashes and aliens and monsters. It's just a really great.
Well, even throughout the whole film, you're always trying to do the right thing. Like, sorry, my memory for names is horrible, but the guy who you were trying to, he's talking about his mom passing and stuff like that. And I'm just like, every time, at every chance, your character was just like trying to give him that opportunity. It was kind of a good heartfelt moment in the movie throughout.
Yeah, because I'm trying to connect with him because I know I'm in trouble. So I'm trying to think of ways to almost kind of manipulate him and get my way so I can get out of the situation and continue on with my journey. So
you did what women do best. You teased him.
Mm-hmm.
He calls her out on that.
And hey, did it not work?
And she was completely willing to blow his head off.
I know.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, he's like, what does he say? I can't remember, but I hit the thing and hit the trigger, and it's But
I'm watching. I'm like, how's this gonna go? Oh crap!
Damn it!
Well, the same with, again, I don't want to give anything away, but when I'm with all the bad guys and we're in the cockpit and we're all having a conversation, and I'm also trying to mess with Nina's head as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get her to a certain spot in the cockpit so I can disable the ship and get my mom and head out. So there's reasons for what I do throughout the whole film. You can see me constantly thinking.
Makes sense.
I'm constantly planning. I'm constantly plotting. And, I'm in a rough situation that I have to get out, and I have to figure out what can I do.
And you're fighting.
She did a great job too.
Yeah, Rachel, she killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were blessed with a really good cast on this one, and that one scene in particular that Sarah's talking about is one of my favorites because everybody has some business going on in that scene, and you can really see Taylor thinking through the scene. You can tell that she's trying to plan something.
Same with the climax. Everybody in the whole, there's something going on throughout the whole universe of the movie for everybody. I'm just like, there's no time to relax. It was great. Like a great ending.
Thank you.
And are you guys planning on doing any horror movies? Because Anahit, I swear, when you were first in that spacesuit and you came forward, I was like, "Oh crap, that would have scared the shit out of me."
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I was like, "Oh fuck."
I would actually love to do a paranormal movie where she plays a Zelda Rubinstein type character that's kind of coming in to help. That it's a little more of a PG-13 horror movie than I usually do. I usually do the nice hard R's. Yeah. But and I'll just interject as far as Anahit, she's fantastic in the movie.
Yeah,
She mentioned earlier she had a smaller role in automation, and I knew for this one she was going to have, Garo and I talked. She's going to have a bigger role, and she's the life of the movie. So I'm super happy she got a chance to shine in this one.
Oh, it's been such a blessing to have somebody write for me. That's never happened before, and I'm just so blessed, Joe. Thank you. And it was so much fun to do. As far as horror, automation was the only horror film that
No, you've done more.
No. I've been in Joe Castro's, what was it called now?
Summer of Massacre. She got her head cut off.
I did.
Oh.
I did. But you know what? When I did that one as a favor, I didn't know the whole story of it.
You got your head cut off for a favor. That's
yeah, but it's now in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Really?
Yeah, as the most kills from beginning to end.
I had a card in that movie too.
Yeah, he was in that one. But I have not done any other horror. I'm more of a romantic comedy kind of, what interests me and action adventure, like Space Wars, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I love acting of any kind. If it's challenging, I'll do it. But I close my eyes when it comes to gore. It's like for our first Valentine's Day, he took me to Scream, and I was like this the whole time, and I was hitting him the rest of the time. It's just not my thing.
That's that's not even a scary movie.
Yeah.
I once took a girl to Faces of Death 4.
Oh my God!
For our
No,
first date. It didn't go well.
Those are fucked up movies.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
No, you got to go romance or something like that for your first date.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I watch a lot of horror movies. So, and I've been
Jeff
married
watches
35
some
years,
really
and
crazy
I watch a
shit
lot
too.
of movies by myself.
Yeah.
That's true.
She just don't like them, which is cool.
Yeah, that's the way we are with them. Yeah.
I mean, I watch 4 or 5 horror movies a week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm lucky. I'm covered in horror tattoos, and Sarah loves horror. That's her favorite thing as well. So,
are you guys
it
big
works out well
Halloween
for
people?
us.
You guys big Halloween people? Doing
Of
all
course.
the crazy costumes and stuff?
Halloween is year round for us.
Fantastic.
It never stops.
Well, yes, I'm not a big Halloween person because I don't have kids and I don't want kids coming to my door.
Jeff's that grumpy old man.
I'm the grumpy old man in the neighborhood. Get out of my yard.
I was that for a little while once when we had neighbors who would have parties all the time back in West LA.
Yeah.
I'd be the guy coming down there with like the the
undershirt?
sort of wife beater undershirt, like, hey, quiet down out there.
I just shut the dog up and go outside and be like, move.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you didn't really have to do much casting for this movie, but how did you get all of these guys together initially?
Well, all these characters we kind of knew, Joe, right? We knew who we were writing for the most part on this one.
Yeah, there were only a couple that weren't written specifically for people.
Yeah. We knew going in when Jeff Miller approached us about this, he wanted a role for Michael Pare. He knew we were going to have Sarah and Anahit in it, and he was great with that.
How hard was it to get Michael to join the cast, or was he just like, yeah, let's do this?
He loved the script. I mean, he was so excited when he got the script. I mean, I remember meeting him in a cafe and he had notes all over. He was ready. He was ready. He loves science fiction.
That's really cool to get somebody that's like ready to jump in like that. That's like kind of dedicated to the part already. That's fun.
Well, puts their hearts in it at that point. They're not just being paid to do a job.
Oh yeah,
no. He's all in.
Yeah.
He's all in on it.
And he really captured that spirit, I think, of the sort of Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers sort of thing.
Absolutely.
And he got it. He understood what we were trying to make,
So I gotta ask.
He did it very well.
I gotta ask: is there like a surplus of cows in this universe? Because everybody's wearing leather. Leather on everybody. I was just like, holy crap! There's a lot of leather in space. Space is supposed to be cold.
Black tight leather too.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess we can have some of those space cows in the sequel or something. We could harvest.
I was going to ask that too. Is there going to be a sequel? And now you just ruined that question.
So.
Well, it would have been funny. A random cow or two in that cloud, the space cloud.
We've got to go make more clothing.
Is that Aeropolis space cloud, right, Joe?
Yeah. Yep. That was the name of it. The blue space. Yeah, it was great.
Was that an original one? Because that was kind of out of nowhere, and like I thought it was like a really cool way to move the story along.
The space cloud.
Yeah.
It was. We just discussed we needed one more thing to kind of bridge it. So budgetary wise, you're trying to figure out what you can do on set, and it was, well, we can just have a blue cloud that they get stuck in, and then you can just light it blue, and we can play it that way. There was initially it's in the deleted scenes. Elnora's character hates the color blue, so there was a subplot of that we had a few scenes for. That all ended up getting cut out, but so it was leading to that is why it was blue. But it was a lot of times when you're doing these indie movies, you're trying to make the best you can with what you have. So when you're trying to add a new scene, you're trying to figure out how can we do this without, having to create a whole new world, a whole new, location, because it was tough. I mean, Garo, you can share with us the opening, share with everybody the opening and how challenging that was.
Yeah, well, that was we already had everything scheduled. Joe is an amazing scheduler, and so we worked together on all of that, and we had everything ready. Everything was locked up tight. We had everything done. And then the distributor, or it was either Jeff, or I think it was right from the distributor, they were just like, hey, can you add sort of a James Bond opening action scene to this, or like an Indiana Jones opening? And it's like we already had everything scheduled, and all our actors are scheduled for certain days, and it's like, okay,
how are we gonna squeeze this in?
Yeah, and Joe and I got together. We were driving around locations in LA trying, because Michael was going to be mainly on our sets in La Puente, so we were trying to think, well, what other location can we put Michael at and everything, and we got so frustrated at one point because we just couldn't find a way to fit it in or to move. We couldn't even find another location, and I'm like, my gosh, we're just stuck with Michael Pare in a box on our set, And then a box, Michael Bray.
Let's
and,
put him in the box.
Yeah, and I drew a picture of a box hanging from a suspension cable with over a pit of lava with a big monster about the end. I'm like, yeah, we can take the pod thing and just repaint it and make it the box, and we'll put him literally in a box and have him.
Because of course they wanted a bigger opening, but no more shooting days and no more money.
Right.
Yeah.
For budget, so we just
of course.
And we were never going to be able to bring Prey out to Vegas. So that was the biggest challenge, is how do we involve him? Because if we're doing a bigger opening, it's got to be him.
Right.
We have to have him. So the idea was great. And I think it works very well within the confines of the movie. It gives it that we're getting the end of a different movie to begin our movie, which is wonderful.
Yep. And if we do sequels, there will be, openings just like that. So we plan to have every film begin with another adventure. So if we do,
now
we'll actually have 6 adventures.
Now after the ending, you have the perfect build up. Like you could do little adventure. I really enjoyed the ending. I thought I even teared up just for a second, but it got me. I have to admit.
Oh, good.
For a second, I was like, oh, it's because I have kids. I'm telling you, ever since I had kids, I've become this emotional mess. It's really sad. So what about the music? Like throughout the movie, it was pretty solid. I have to say, every moment was brought to life, I think, through the score.
Yeah, it was a wonderful score. That's Joel Christian Goffin, and he's an amazing composer. He did the soundtrack to Automation, my previous movie. He did that in 4 weeks. This one,
wow.
We knew we were going to do this movie. Like I already had discussed with Jeff, we were going to do a sci-fi movie. And when Jeff said, okay, we'll do it, I talked to Joel, said, hey, Joel, and this is almost 2 years out, maybe a year and a half out from production, from this movie happening. And I was like, hey, we want to do a sci-fi movie, something with could you do a score like Elmer Bernstein meets James Horner, And he's like, oh, all right, I'll think about it. And then 2 hours later, he sent me the opening theme sound to Spacewars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, he's such a talented composer, and we worked together a lot on the soundtrack.
And if you listen carefully, each character has a theme.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't catch that.
You'll hear it. Sarah has one.
That's cool.
You
I've
hear
always
it
wanted my
when
own
she's
theme
looking at
song.
the blue essence.
Yeah, Rachel has her own theme. Dykstra has his theme. Paray has his theme. I mean, everybody, even Manx. Manx had his special warrior music. I mean.
Oh no kidding.
Oh yeah.
It's actually. It actually makes sense that you wouldn't necessarily notice it because all of these elements are what makes everyone a character.
Oh yeah, it played well.
The casting, the script, the casting, the costumes, and then the music all add together to create these characters and make them more vivid than they would be if it was just.
And Garo's skill as an editor made them all look seamless. They all work together.
I really enjoyed the way some of the demises of your villains, especially Elnora. That was I was oh my god.
Where'd
that idea?
Yeah, Sadie was quite a powerhouse in this as a bad guy. I mean, we had her for 1 day, and she's in the
wow, that's 1 day.
One day.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Whatever became of her son? I was waiting for his ultimate return. Is that in the sequel?
There's a deleted scene actually where you have a little bit of that. The pilots, when she's sort of when we have that the punishment for failure sequence between Elnora and the two pilots. Originally, they arrive and they hand her a canister of her son's ashes. Had a picture of him on it with a barcode. Everything. And the scene went on. There was a little more back and forth, and there were some blue flowers, which Joe had, which was part of the blue joke that comes on later. It was a bit too long of a scene. It was fun, but I mean, and it was funny, and you can see it on the deleted scenes. But we just sort of reworked that scene a little differently.
Well, it was a fun flick. I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I watch a lot of horror movies, but I grew up on sci-fi as well, so I'm a huge sci-fi guy. you know, and this one was it was so lighthearted, and just very well done. You know, it wasn't dark like a lot of your sci-fis are. And don't get me wrong, I love those too.
Yeah.
But it's not too often I see one that's just fun to watch like this.
Yeah.
That I actually enjoy.
And that was the goal. You know, we wanted to do something a little different than what's out there. I mean,
well, that's why I thought to bring the kids in to watch. I was like, hey, you guys should sit down. And they were there for a half hour. And then they were like, all right, we got stuff to do. I'm like, no.
Yeah. But, you know, but I mean, we really wanted it to be lighthearted and fun. You know, sci-fi today is either a big franchise film or it's some, you know, dark labyrinth-like television show that goes on forever. I mean, we just wanted the 90-minute adventure.
You don't see the monster. You never see the monster.
Yeah. This one, you'll see the monsters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I have to say, with the special effects, it wasn't like they got blurred out or anything. It was done really well.
That was deliberate. We wanted you to see the entire monster. We wanted you to feel how heavy it was and that it was alive.
Oh yeah, the ground was like bouncing off, and like as he's walking.
Yeah. I had Starship Troopers pop into my head.
Oh yeah,
good.
There you go.
It's great. Yeah, and like all the dirt kicking up when the monster's chasing them in the cave and all that. I mean, yeah, that was all. And did you ever see a movie called The Angry Red Planet when you were growing up as a kid, or no? Oh, okay. Just because that was sort of the homage, you know, of that sequence on Xeno. On
I think that was many years ago. You know,
that's
back in the day of the Forbidden Planet and stuff. You know.
Oh, I love Forbidden Planet. That's another one. I love that. Yeah.
Wow.
So
no, it's like you know, it's like the horror movies too, because I mean, you know, you have your horror comedies, and then you know. And I always bring this up when we talk about horror because there's a great movie if you haven't seen it. They just did their sequel, which is also awesome, and it's called Don't Fuck in the Woods.
It's a good title.
Yeah, it gets rough out there.
You know, it's hysterical, but it's also disgusting.
So yeah, not one for you.
Not for me. No.
Yeah.
Right.
I will not be seeing them.
You know, but it's one of those movies that, you know, you'll laugh when somebody dies because it's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
And just so well done. You know.
Very cool. We love horror comedy stuff. We love horror, and that's the great thing about genre movies is there's so many different subgenres.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like I love sci-fi. I love Event Horizon. I love movies that are super serious and dark and but
the
then
Abyss and stuff like
love
that. Yep.
Star Crash as well. So it was for me. It was super cool to get to work in a medium of anybody can watch it.
Yeah.
Versus, well, you know, you better not let your kids or your grandma watch the horror stuff I do.
Right.
So it's just been the whole experience was just super cool. You know, and I hope you know, it's streaming everywhere. It's DVDs in Walmart. I hope people buy it, watch it, rent it, and we get to make another one because I would have a great time getting to do it again.
And we got some good ideas for sequels, and we want to work together and just keep doing these.
And want to do it bigger and better.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
What's the big takeaway that you hope audiences take away from this? What's just fun?
Yeah. Pure escapism. This is like the films you grew up with, you know, and just go along for the ride and have a good time and enjoy the time with the characters, and you know, and like I said, hopefully we can do more of these.
Yeah.
You know, and it was full of little surprises here and there.
It definitely was.
I mean, you know, I didn't expect you to come out of a cabinet.
I'm telling you, that was one of my favorite parts. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the? Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm glad. You know, I'm glad. I didn't expect it to be perceived that way, but that's cool.
Someone else said they were a little scared of your character when they saw you dancing with the spacesuit.
Oh, yeah, right?
See, Joe knew to play
what's
into
going
crazy.
on there?
I think it's cute. I love it.
It's like, how long has she been by herself?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, there was a little bit of Rocket Man. I love the movie Rocket Man. Not the Elton John one, the
Harlan Williams?
Harlan Williams. And so that scene was playing up a little bit of that too, of someone that's just been there for a while alone and you know, finding ways to not lose their mind.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, or showing that they already have.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is some of the reviews really picked up on that, Joe. They were like, yeah, how long has she been in space? They were saying, right. She's a little loopy.
Yeah. But then we also, what I loved about it too, is just her performance and the character. You just realize that's just how she is.
Yeah. Right.
She might have been that way day one up there. You know, she's just having fun and enjoying what she has.
Yeah.
Right. And that's bringing that playful exuberance to the character, which I loved. I like that every character had their thing.
Yeah.
Right. And I like the contraband.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The liquid stuff.
Yeah, what was in that, by the way?
Bring two.
That was a funny color.
You know, and this is what's so wonderful about Joe's writing. It's like, okay, so yeah, you know, we have that, and it's a fun bit with the bottles, but then they come into play later. I mean, that's the bottles that, you know, Sarah and Tyler are drinking from in that sequence. And, you know, there were a lot of little details that paid off, you know, which was great.
I like everything to connect. I think if you set something up, you pay it off.
Yeah.
No, I think you did well. Coming from a comic book nerd geek, I enjoyed it fully. I was just like, this was a lot of fun. I've already recommended it to a few people. So
very cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good. Get it out there for those that are watching. It's in the show notes. There's links.
Oh
for
yeah,
it,
up above, down below,
depending on where you're watching. You got to get that in. Ben likes that.
Yeah. That, and Leo always asks, what is it that you guys actually geek out about? Like, do you collect anything? Are you like really into stamps? Are you like into irons? Like, is there anything out there in the world that like
he has a huge collection of movies? His office downstairs is wall to wall, 3 sides of the room, cabinets full of DVDs.
And what are you gonna do when they change What are you gonna do when they change formats?
I've already upgraded most of my stuff to Blu-ray.
Have you?
I don't know if I'm going to go to 4K. I mean, at this point, are my eyes even going to be good enough to, like, you know, at this? It's going to make.
I say that about my ears. My record collection is still boxed over there. My CD collection is on the wall behind me.
Yeah.
You know, you get this little thing that holds all of it.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's interesting. I was at a friend's house and he had one of those projectors that you know project the Blu-rays and it was amazing. We watched the movie that way and it was like the best I've ever seen it. I mean, I couldn't imagine. You know, people are like, well, now there's 4K, and it's just like I can't imagine it looking too much better, you know, than what I've seen. I mean, I don't know if you guys have had that experience yet or not.
I have a 4K TV, and I tell you, I can't. I only got it because the kids were like, "We got to get a 4K TV if we get a new TV." Blah blah blah. I got it. I can't tell the difference whatsoever.
No, I can't either. You know, it depends on how far away from it I am. Whether I wear my glasses or not.
Right. And especially with older movies, it's like how much more, you know, get out of it. You know, I don't know. I mean, Blu-rays look great. I mean, again, you can have a Blu-ray that doesn't look great versus one that's encoded more properly. You know, I've sometimes upgraded from one Blu-ray to another if it's a better transfer or something. But
right. But sometimes those older movies, leave them alone. They're supposed to be like that.
Yeah, grainy quality, like
you know.
Leo's a huge fan of the original Star Wars before they did any like touch-ups to it at all and stuff.
I think we all are.
Yeah. So what about you guys? Joe, Sarah, you guys collect anything? Geek out about anything besides horror?
Yeah, we have a CD collection. We still buy everything and collect vinyl.
Oh, really?
We have
vinyl's a big one.
Movie collection, and it's mainly horror. A lot of horror memorabilia, posters.
I just got a big Chucky doll.
Oh, nice!
And Child's Play is like one of my favorite films of all time, and it's great to have him here.
I hear the TV series is kind of good. I haven't checked it out myself.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's very well done.
I like the original Chuck, the original one. The sequels did nothing for me.
Oh, some of them are really good popcorn movies, though. They're like you can.
I mean, they get into the pride of Chucky and stuff like that. That was a little much for me. Star Wars Harmony's Despecialized Edition.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, someone took the Star Wars and created a Blu-ray, but despecialized it, replaced all the special edition stuff with the old stuff.
Oh
wow.
Yeah.
Nerds are weird.
Right?
You got everybody else in the world being like, let's see how much better we can get this. And then there's the one guy that's like, I bet you I can make it look like the worst piece that it looked like before all of this.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, you grow up watching certain movies a certain way, and then, sometimes when they come out on another version, they might mess with the sound mix or change it up a little, and people notice it. Like I know
absolutely.
There's been a lot of controversy with like the Superman movies, like the way the Superman's S and the sound that it made when it came towards you in the original Superman movie. They did a big remix and it just doesn't feel the same or have the same impact. And the other day I was watching all the Indiana Jones movies, and they're great. They look good and everything, but and I know it's not my sound system. They did something to the sound mixes of those movies. The music is just a little softer. The punches don't quite have the impact I remember. And I know it's not the sound equipment, because then I'd put in a different movie and it would have that more.
That's your editor's ear, though. I don't know if the average person's going to notice that.
But you kind of, these movies that you watched repeatedly as a kid, you really remember them. You remember the impact of a punch sound effect. You know what I mean? And suddenly it's happening. It's like, beep, versus bam. It's just like,
Right. You get that real sound, and then it kind of faded off for some reason.
Well, they just remix it. I don't know. I'm not sure what quite happened. I'll be curious. To see.
Well, I think it's kind of funny how everything goes full circle. I mean, I'm a bit older than you guys, I think, but growing up on the old style cartoons, you know what I mean, the old Hanna-Barbera and all that kind of stuff. And then, as I turned into a teenager, they were getting, turning into 3D and doing all of this fancy stuff with the cartoons, and I started to lose interest. And now all of a sudden we're back to, this
really
this
basic
flat,
animation.
The really basic animation, you know what I mean? South Park and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
They don't even walk; they just bounce sideways.
Yeah. It's more stylized.
The ones I watched, almost 50 years ago were better.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I was a big fan of the Warner Brothers, Bugs Bunny cartoons and stuff, and Friz Freleng and Chuck Jones, those kind of things. Bob Clampett.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a lot of that. They were actually drawn back then versus now everything's digital.
That's true.
That changes things up quite a bit.
Even those South Park episodes, those are done digitally now. I mean, they're done in a style of the paper cutout thing, but they are digital.
Yeah. In 1 week, each episode's 1 week beginning.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
That's
completely
pretty
insane.
crazy. Yeah.
Wow. So, any more questions, Jaja?
I think I finished my list. I did it in an hour too. Look at me.
Good job.
Well, your list would have been twice as long had you known that we were.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it would have been
too. So.
Yeah, I got to talk to Ben about that one. Be like, hey Ben, next time you want to tell me everybody that's going to be on.
Right. Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah. At least
I'm glad I had just recently watched it, because that really helped. It was fresh in my head.
Oh, same here. Like I have the worst memory. Things like get washed out as new stuff comes in, and it's just like. But
that's how it goes.
I can tell you, Joe and Sarah have another movie coming out soon.
Oh, nice.
We do. We have a horror comedy coming out called That's a Wrap in August or September that we're super excited about. Thanks Thanks for the plug, Garo.
And you'll be coming back on to talk about it.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nod.
We have a slasher coming out through Lionsgate at some point too. We don't know when that's coming out, but lots of cool stuff.
I did see that you have one in post, if that information is correct, called Creepy Pasta.
Oh, that's something. That was something I worked on a bit. That was I was more helping out in the post department on that one, and my company, we did the trailer for that one. Yeah, nice bunch of people on there. It's a bunch of shorts put together, and it's something involving the creepy pasta stories. That was Gregory Burkhardt's project. So it's
okay.
He was the old creepy pasta guy who used to work. I think it was on Blumhouse's website. They had and that was always the most popular thing on there. So yeah.
Excellent. I would like to just throw out two before we take off that for LA-based people, anybody in the LA area, on Saturday at 3 p.m., we're doing a DVD signing at Dark Delicacies.
Oh, nice.
The super cool horror bookstore. So if anybody is listening or watching from LA,
we'll be
get
there.
a copy of the movie. Cast crew is going to be there. Michael Prey is going to be there. 4 of us are going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be super cool.
You'll get to
So are you looking to get into the con circuit and maybe do some appearances?
I'd love to at some point. I know Sarah and Joe have done it a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've done a lot of horror ones in the past. The last few years, we haven't done many, obviously for certain reasons with COVID, everything shut down. Yeah. But I love cons. We have a lot of fun there. It's like being a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some sci-fi ones because the sci-fi fan base is just amazing.
Yeah.
Same with both the horror and sci-fi fan base. I have to say, like as I said, I'm a comic book nerd. And I love Comic Cons, but like the reception that you get from horror fans, and it's just different. It feels more like family when you go into a horror con. And I had never been to one until last year, and I was impressed.
Yeah.
We've been to a lot of them.
Yeah, they have one Monster Palooza that happens twice a year out here, which I'm always going to. And
nice.
Sci-fi and horror, they are like cousins, aren't they? I mean, there's definitely some bleed over between the two, and that's kind of that's why I've always really been a sci-fi guy, but I really get into horror because you like monsters in sci-fi, and then the monsters are in horror also, so you kind of like that stuff too.
Well, yeah, I mean the classics. I mean, my favorite movies of all time are Alien and Predator.
Yeah,
both sci-fi horror flicks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, The Thing, all of that stuff.
Alien's my favorite. Yep.
Yep. I love the Alien movies, and when they combined the Alien and Predator as that was
fun.
Insane.
Yeah.
I do. It'd be great though to see like something new now. Like, I mean, I want to see the new monster movie. I mean, even Tremors. There's like 9 of those. I mean, and they're cool. I mean, I like Tremors, but it's just I'm ready. I want to go back.
I want to go back to Critters, actually.
Yeah. I remember them.
I loved Critters. That was some good stuff.
Yeah. That was the first thing I thought about with that was a ball that eats you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that was a big old ball of carnivore.
Right. Nice. Okay, so I don't know where Leo is, but we will start getting into wrapping this up. Oh,
look there he goes. I'm Jar Jar. You can catch me on Facebook at Jeremy Courtney. And also check out Comic Book Lovers Buy, Sell, Trade, and Auction House to buy, sell, and trade all your nerdy stuff with 20,000 other people. Check me out on Tuesdays for Splash Pages. It's another wonderful podcast brought to you by The Dorkening every 8 o'clock. Every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and Wednesday night, if I'm not here, you can always check me out on the Midweek Geeks at 9 o'clock, and that's also brought to you by The Dorkening.
Thank you. For
guys. Where do you guys like people interacting with you on social media?
Yeah, I'm like on Facebook and Instagram, so that's probably the easiest way to find us right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Until I got a Hungry Monster website to go build.
Still
at some
working on
point.
it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have that ready at some point.
Nice. Love the name. I'll be looking forward to that one.
Thank you so much, and really appreciate you having us. This is wonderful.
Oh, it's been a ball. We appreciate it. And Joe and Sarah, where do you like people following?
You can check me out on Instagram at Sarah French Online and also on Facebook, Sarah French. And I love interacting with the fans. So come on over and say hi.
I'm Instagram, Facebook. I'm not a huge social media guy. So the easiest way to get to me is to go to Sarah and link to me through there. I actually don't even remember what you look at to find me on Facebook or Instagram.
That's fantastic.
I don't know. But
I gotta have a...
And be sure to check out Spacewars Quest for the Deepstar out now.
Yes.
Out now.
You
Very
can
good.
check the show notes up above and down below for all that.
The links are all there. I would want to thank our guests. This has been a great show. I had a ball. It was a fantastic movie. So in today's world, you don't even have to get off your ass to go out and see it anymore.
No.
It's interesting how the world has changed to that. But anyway, guys, if you would hang out until the show closes, I would very much appreciate that. Okay. As far as us, just go to stilltoken.com. You'll find out anything and everything that you need to know about us, and probably some things that you really don't want to know about us. And on that note, I'm going to do the Ben and say I would like to thank all of our first responders and medical personnel and nurses and doctors and fire people, police, everybody. Because if it wasn't for you doing what you do, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. Amen. Peace out.